Welcome to Aligned for Success podcast, where we help chiropractors create practices that truly serve their life's vision. I'm your host, Dr. Nikki, and I'm here to show you how to break free from stagnation, grow your practice, and rediscover the joy of why you became a chiropractor to begin with. Whether you're looking to boost your revenue, spend more time with family, or simply enjoy practice life again, you're in the right place. Let's align your path to success. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Aligned for Success. So today's podcast topic comes from really two things just that have been coming up in conversations over the past week and a half. And this morning I was talking to my husband and he was like, hey, I want to talk to you about something that someone said that was bothering me. And he told me the story and I was like, yeah, but that's a choice. They're choosing that. They're choosing to stay at that job. They're choosing to complain about not having money. They are literally making these choices. And he's like, no, I know, but what do you do about it? I'm like, you tell him it's a dang choice. So anyway, this is just kind of a reflection on we just let our circumstances that we think we don't have a choice. And so today I want to talk to you about the lie that we have all been sold, and that's life happens to you. So most people are just raised to believe that life is just something that happens. You get the job that you get. You take the path that just shows up. You deal the hand that you're dealt. And if the circumstances are good, you say, oh, I just got lucky. And if circumstances are bad, you say you're unlucky or you just feel stuck. And we're trained from freaking childhood subtly and so constantly and consistently to believe that I can only rise as far as my circumstances allow. But that mindset, it quietly removes your power. It places your happiness, your income, your opportunities, your fulfillment in someone else's hands. Maybe that is your boss. Maybe that is a schedule, a diagnosis, a bill that showed up unexpectedly, an algorithm, and you saw something that triggered you, a market, the economy, or maybe you're blaming a season of life. The moment that you start to outsource your power to circumstance, you disconnect from choice. And so here's the shift. Circumstances are just data. It's neutral. It's just information. It's the interpretation or the response that shapes your life. And so two people can see the same exact obstacle. And one says, see, I cannot do that. And the other one says, okay, well, now what? What do I need to do next? And so the circumstance did not decide the outcome. The response did. So no, you can't always control the circumstance, but what you can control is what you make it mean, how you move through it, what you choose next, and how you see yourself inside of it. And so that is where alignment lives. That's where good leadership lives. And that is where success is built. And so this isn't about people being scared or lazy. It's literally so much deeper than that because most people genuinely believe that circumstance determines their entire life because of identity conditioning. If you have always believed these things, I'm not good with money. People like me don't make six figures. This is just how it is. I don't have the same opportunity that other people have. Then you unconsciously filter every single circumstance through that lens. Identity creates your interpretation. Interpretation creates your choices. And choices ultimately are what creates your results. And this is where that stuckness is born because it's not from the circumstance, but it's from the story about the circumstance. So this belief just keeps people in cycles for literally decades, their whole entire lives. You think circumstances are in control. and you stop looking for alternatives. You stop looking for better questions. You stop believing in your ability to change your outcomes. And so I would also say that the older you are, that's why they say it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, right? And so you just kind of get into this mode where it is what it is. And so you stop believing in your ability to change the outcomes. You cling to what is instead of what could be, and you just live on autopilot instead of in alignment. So this belief system is so dangerous because it makes powerlessness feel completely rational. It makes this stagnation feeling feel inevitable. And honestly, it just makes our potential feel like it's irrelevant and unattainable. And so the truth is that successful people do not live in circumstance. So let's be super clear. Successful people experience the same circumstances as everybody else. They get sick. They have bills to pay. They have kids that have needs. They have setbacks. They have failures. They lose people. They have hard seasons. The difference is that successful people do not let their circumstance become the author of their story. So even just my own personal story, I didn't grow up with money. I certainly didn't grow up with a storybook family life. My dad cheated on my mom. My dad was on drugs. My dad left my mom. My dad let our house go into foreclosure. All of these things that would set me up, quote, if I let the circumstances determine my life. I found a way to go to college. Nobody paid for me to go to college. Then I went to grad school, got a doctorate degree. I'm still paying for those babies. Nobody helped me through those, but I also didn't let those circumstances define my life. I went to school. I had not great jobs. And so with those not great jobs, I didn't just say like, it is what it is. I did something about it. And so I chose to take responsibility of my own life. And so all of these things that you're dealing with, it is a choice. Same as I am on a personal health journey right now. In May, when we were in, where were we? Nashville. And I was speaking, I was looking at the B-roll of myself, and I was freaking mortified of how much weight that I was carrying. And I also remember Alejandro getting on stage and talking about meeting with an overweight doctor and how he couldn't take him seriously. This guy doesn't value his health. So how does he take care of his business? Every single podcast that I was listening to talked about all these things that you need to be doing. And obviously a diet, exercise, taking care of yourself, sleep is all part of it. And I realized that was the one thing that I wasn't doing. I'm kind of getting off on a tangent, but I'm letting you all know that I saw videos and pictures of myself, and I took literally radical responsibility of what my body looked like, and also just losing weight, starting to take care of myself better. So making huge shifts, huge changes as far as that goes, because I could say I'm very busy. I work 2 jobs. I have a 6-year-old, all of these things, but I didn't. I just took responsibility for it. And I also just said, okay, given this circumstance, what do I choose now? So every day, making a choice. I have a personal trainer. If I didn't, guess what? I would probably skip the gym every day, Tuesday, Thursday, because I think about it. I think about it every Tuesday and Thursday, but I'm paying for it and I have goals. And so I show up. So those are all of the choices that I am making. And same as with my business, every day making a choice of how to get where I actually want to be. And so I just want you guys to all look at your life right now and ask, where am I telling myself I can't because X? It is just the way that things are. Or something we hear all the time, I'm just so busy. When things slow down, when my kids are older, when life starts to get a little bit easier. And so all of those are circumstance-led narratives. They sound reasonable, they feel responsible, but ultimately, guys, all they do is they keep you small. So I want you guys to rewrite them. Given this, here is what I choose. Given this specific season, here is how I will show up. Given this challenge, here is the solution I'll create. And that is what aligned leadership sounds like. So alignment isn't about having perfect circumstances. Alignment is about being someone who is at a choice in every season. It sounds like I choose how I respond. I choose how I grow. I choose what I build. And ultimately, I choose what happens next. And so when you stop waiting for your circumstances to change and start changing your choices, your life will expand. And it's not because your conditions improved. It's because you did. Well, I thank you all so much for tuning into another episode of Aligned for Success. And so I know we're getting towards the end of the year. And so again, that's just a circumstance, right? It's just a date on a calendar. And so you can choose how you decide to show up for these next few weeks. Thank you all again so much. I will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in to Aligned for Success. If today's episode resonated with you, please be sure to subscribe and leave a review. This helps other chiropractors find their way to practice freedom too. Remember, true success comes from when your practice aligns with your life's purpose. Until next time, I'm Dr. Nikki Cottis, reminding you that a thriving practice and a fulfilling life go hand in hand. See you next week.